Hi again then guys, and welcome to another speed build for Forza Horizon 3, and this time we're tuning up one of the not necessarily rarer occasions where we have a race car on the game, but it's certainly not as prolific. Race cars aren't as prolific on Forza Horizon 3 as they are on the motorsport games. Not at all surprisingly, it is a street-based game, but the fact that race cars are also included has always been a pretty cool aspect of the Horizon games. Even in the first game you had stuff like the Maserati MC12 Corsa, which was a monster even though it's not a road-legal car. Now this car of course is going to be always popular because it's a Porsche, people love Porsches. Now as far as upgrades go, some people might not want to have all-wheel drive on a vehicle like this. If not, I totally understand. Of course it's down to personal preference, so if you don't want to have that, just don't fit it. It does have its advantages, not having it, and having it has advantages. So either way, it's not a bad idea, it just depends what you need from the car. Now as far as the rest, you know the drill. Improve whatever you can basically, de-restrict the engine, take a little bit of weight away if you can here and there, but as far as race cars go, there's not that much that you can do to it. Now as far as the benchmark, with all-wheel drive you're looking at 2.5 to 60, 4.5 to 100, and flat out, according to the benchmark at least, 248 miles per hour. That's pretty good. That's a pretty healthy speed for this car to be able to do, especially given the aerodynamic resistance, the downforce that it's always going to be working with, even with lower settings. Now for the gearbox, I would recommend a 3.4 final drive. Then for the individual gears, we've got 2.9, 2, 1.5, 1.18, 0.94 and 0.76. So pretty familiar to those who have used my tunes before. I've gone for neutral camber and tow. That applies more so with all-wheel drive. If you have rear-wheel drive, you might want to have a little bit of camber. I've gone for 4 degrees of caster, so it's not too loose, not too heavy. As far as anti-roll, I've just rounded those to 23 and 26. Springs on 115 and 222 with the lowest ride height. Dampers on 10, 17, 5 and 8. Aero, as I said, you want as low as possible for top end speed. If you want it to have better handling, of course increase that, but you will lose some top end performance. And as far as the diff, I've opted for 100% on the acceleration bias, 0 on decel, and for this particular car an 80% split in favour of that back end. And having the 20% go into the front helps you immeasurably offline or off the line, off-road. It just gives you those little advantages that all-wheel drive is great for. As I said, rear-wheel drive is good for different things such as manoeuvrability at high speeds, so it depends what you need from the car. But this tune is on my storefront, so you can use the keywords down in the video description to find that quickly and easily. But for now, as we always do, let's actually take the car out on the street to see if it can hit that quoted speed. Now, of course, with a race car, you don't primarily tend to pull them out to have top-end performance. So, as I've said with a couple of my other tunes in the past, this is more a tune not to pull out every time you need to participate in a drag race or a top-end performance event, but it's specifically for the car if you want to use the 911 race car and need that kind of top speed. And there is a big difference between those two things, because if you're looking purely for speed, of course there are far better options out there. But if you want speed from this car, well, then it's the tune for you. Now, obviously, I hope you have a lot of fun with it, and if you want to check out other tunes like this, there are literally hundreds more on the channel. But for now, as always, thanks for watching.